They say death is a failure. They say it's selfish. They say it's giving up. They say everything except the one thing that might be true. That sometimes it's mercy. But mercy makes people uncomfortable. So they call it weakness instead. She didn't stumble into the forest. She walked, calm, steady, the way you do when you run out of reasons to explain the pain you've already tried to name 1,000 ways. She had told them, all of them. She used words like tired, overwhelmed, not sure I can keep doing this. They heard her and gave her what they could. They gave her hope and pills and faith and love and pep talks and motivational quotes dressed up like lifelines. They tried. They really did. But they never understood that this wound was not one that could heal. It wasn't situational. It wasn't seasonal. It was terminal. The clearing welcomed her the way mercy always does. Quiet, still, without demand. At the center, the lake. Next to it, a figure. Light and shadow intertwined, pulsing softly, like breath. Not a savior, not a monster, just something that understood. She collapsed in front of it. I did everything right, she whispered. I reached out, I held on, I let them love me. But it didn't stop the pain because the pain isn't something you can hold me through. It lives in my bones, it eats through my days, it doesn't care that I want to stay. They all keep asking me to survive, but none of them are willing to see that there's no survival left, there's just this. The figure moved aside and let her see. The lake didn't shimmer, it didn't glow, it just was. A quiet ending no one else would give her permission to choose. She dipped her hand in. Agony. It burned through her, not with death, but with life. Real life. Every nerve screaming, every emotion ripped bare. She pulled her hand out, skin gone, bone exposed, not numb, not healed, but free. Behind her, silhouettes arrived. Her people, crying, shouting, pleading, please stay. You're stronger than this. We can help. Don't do this to us. You matter. We love you. Don't let the darkness win. It'll pass. You're not alone. You've survived your worst days. We need you. She turned to them, tears in her eyes, not from pain, but from clarity. It's not darkness. It's pain. And no amount of your love can make it stop. This isn't about giving up. It's about stopping the torture you refuse to call what it was. They had offered her everything, except the one thing that mattered. The right to leave with dignity. Because their comfort mattered more than her suffering. Their grief mattered more than her agony. Their hope mattered more than her truth. She stepped toward the lake. Not to escape, but because she had nothing left to survive for, except their guilt. And that wasn't reason enough. Maybe she crossed. Maybe she stayed. You don't get to know, because it was never your choice. It was hers. So the next time you ask, why didn't they reach out? Remember, they did. But the wound wasn't yours to heal. There was no cure, only mercy. And you refused to allow it. The lake does not weep for her. It does not grieve. It simply opens wide and still. It does what no one else would do. It lets her go. Without begging, without bargaining, without demanding she hold on a little longer for their sake. And on the other side, she is not a monster. Not broken, not selfish, not tragic. She is simply free. From the fire, from the pressure, from the bleeding smile they all applauded, from the what-ifs and the hold-ons and the you'll-get-betters that never came with proof. She walks now, weightless, among the trees. Her steps leave no blood behind. There are others here. Not ghosts, not shadows. People who made the same choice. People who are told that love was enough to cure agony. People who were told to stay for birthdays, for holidays, for other people's comfort. But no one told them they were allowed to rest. No one told them it was okay to stop. And back in the village, they say she was lost. They say she gave up. They say it's sad. They say it wasn't her fault. They say anything except the truth. They build a shrine, they cry, they pray, but they never say, "We asked her to stay, in pain for our peace of mind. We loved her, but we didn't believe her. Suffering was enough reason to go. We held her down with our hope because it was easier than holding her in her truth." They call it tragedy, but in the forest, it is simply called peace. And this is not a story of suicide. This is a story of a wound no one wanted to admit was fatal, and a girl who finally chose her own ending, not in weakness, not in despair, but in the only kind of strength she had left: letting go when no one else would let her.